What's going on, everyone? I am coming at you with some more One Piece gameplay, and today's matchup is between Iceburg and Blue-Purple Crocodile. We are bringing back Blurple Croc for OP03 with some pretty exciting changes to the deck. The deck is no longer this super hyper defensive deck. It now has a lot of different forms of removal in 3,000 worlds, as well as things like we have Dracula Mihawk, we have Crocodile. Also, there are some rush options from the blue side now with Usopp. There's just tons of different plays that we can make here with this new deck. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to swing... we're just thinking about what we want to do here first, honestly. We see our hand has quite a bit of gummed up cards, so we're going to swing 7 at leader here, and we're going to pass turn back to our opponent. And, our hand has quite a bit of event cards in it, so we have to leave some Dawn up for those. So we're going to pay 1 for a Desert Spada and look at our top 3 and rearrange those so that we know what we're drawing next turn. And then our opponent's going to go ahead and play the Galley-La Company, and they're going to tap that to play a Raw Bluchi. And I actually think that this is a pretty favorable matchup for Blurple Croc, just because of the fact that my opponent can't attack with leader. So if you can clear board, then you're always safe. So we're going to go ahead and pay 1 for Mr. Dawes Bones, grab our Desert Spada back, and then we're going to swing 7 again at leader here, and they're going to think about it. It looks like a trigger, but they're going to take it to hand, and we're going to pass turn with 2 Dawn active. That means that we can Spada again, rearrange some cards, and continue our engine, and make sure that we can get to a point in the game where we're feeling pretty good. This matchup also feels really great for Blurple Croc because we have a ton of different cards that hit 7 and below. Also, 3,000 Worlds hits 5 and below, and this Iceberg's generally kind of focused on playing 5-cost cards, but they're going to swing at life here. We're going to counter with Khalifa, and they're going to use the Lucci effect to rest the bones. They're going to swing over with Halstone, and they're going to play a queen, draw 2, trash 1, as well as also they're going to play a Khalifa off of the Iceberg effect. So they have a pretty full board here, which usually can be pretty daunting. However, with this new deck and this new version of it, we're going to go ahead and we're going to swing 6 at the Raw Bellucci because we don't like his resting effect. We're going to go ahead and pay 5 for a queen of our own, draw 2, and trash 1, just to kind of get some cycle through our hand. And we're going to go ahead and pitch the 1-cost Law here, leaving 1 Dawn up for a Desert Spada. We got 1 back from the Dawes Bones. We use it again, and then we still have another one in our hand, so we're feeling pretty good about that. Our opponent is going to start swinging away this turn potentially, so we have to be mindful of that, and we have to ensure that we're using our character cards from hand before we use our event cards at this point. This way we can keep cycling and we can continue maintaining our card advantage over our opponent. So they're going to go ahead and swing 6 with the Khalifa to draw 2 and trash 1 by Dawn minusing, which is, I think, a pretty underrated effect. But we're going to go ahead and counter with a Mr. Bon Cray here, giving a little 2K action. Again, just making sure that we're countering with our character cards instead of our event cards first to make sure we get those draws. We're going to see a Kaku played off of the Iceberg effect here, which is, it's a strong card. It has Banish. We're going to go ahead and pay 1 for Desert Spada, look at our top 3 here, and we're going to arrange it so that we get that Khalifa to hand. It's a 2K character card that we'll be able to use, and then we'll draw off of our leader effect because we have 4 cards in hand, and now we have a 2K counter in hand in the form of the Khalifa that we can use to protect. They're going to go ahead and pass turn back, not swinging with the queen, which is advisable. And now we're feeling pretty good. We're going to swing 5 at the Khalifa here, and they're going to opt to use Hell's Judgment here on the queen and the Mihawk. The Crocodile, so we're going to opt to play Mihawk to bottom deck the Kaku because we don't want any of our life banish at this point. Our hand is looking pretty gummed up with event cards right now, and unfortunately we haven't seen anything like our Kayas to unbrick our hand, we don't have the affordability to do so. So our opponent's going to swing here 5. And we're going to take that first life here, which is completely fine. I think this deck doesn't mind taking life as much as the previous iteration, just because there are so many answers that we can pull in life. And also trigger cards like 3,000 Worlds that can, bottom deck certain things. So Rob Luch is going to swing 7 at life. We'll take that. Another 7K swing at life, and we will take that as well. And then they're going to use Iceberg effect to play a Polly and pass turn back. So again, our opponent has a pretty wide board here. However, we are fairly thankful that we have things like Mihawk on board because it's a big body that our opponent is going to struggle to swing over. So we're going to swing 6 at Khalifa here, forcing a 2K out of hand and a 1K if they want to protect it, which I don't know if that's a good investment, but they're going to invest anyways. And then we're going to swing 9 at it, so it's going to die anyways, and we get 2 cards out of our opponent's hand here. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to set aside some Dawn here just to kind of make sure we know what our turn looks like. We're going to pay 1 for a Daw's Bones to grab that Spada back. We like Desert Spada. It's a great card. We're going to pay for a 3,000 worlds to bottom deck the Queen. Lucci can be an issue in this matchup because he can rest, certain characters here. But we are going to leave 3 Dawn up, and Lucci is going to stay on board. So that is a card that we want to key in on next turn. Iceburg here is looking to get aggressive. We have, as Blurple Croc has 1 life left here, and there's 3 bodies on board that can swing this turn, and Lucci can rest the 1-cost Law here. So that can be unfortunate. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to see Iceburg just kind of do some shenanigans here just to see that they're doing it the right way. They're going to play a Poly, activate effect to add the Dawn. Because of that, they're going to pop the 1-cost Law here, and then they're going to swing Tilestone. We're going to pay 1 for a Desert Spada. We didn't actually pitch it from hand by accident. We forgot to do that. So I'll fix that in a second. We're going to block that swing and pay 1. And they're paying 1 again. Yeah, it was just paying 1, and we pitched the Desert Spada, and we have 4. I already knew what the top 5 cards were, and we have 4 cards in hand, so now we're going to draw a card. And then they're going to swing Poly here at the Queen, and then we're going to pay 1 for a Blast Breath to protect our Queen. We do not want our Queen to die, and then they're going to activate, and they're going to play another Khalifa. So that's a 2k out of our opponent's hands, and we're feeling a bit better about our positioning right now because we can now start to key in on this pesky Lucci, who can rest characters, which can be pretty influential, especially when you're playing these small blockers like Miss All Sunday in an event heavy deck. So we're just kind of planning out our turn here. We're gonna start by swinging Mihawk at Lucci, and our opponent's gonna let that go potentially, but they're just gonna think about it here, and they're actually gonna protect it with a Blast Breath, and that's fine. We get the Blast Breath out of hand. And, we can be in a position where we can set aside some cards here, just so that we can make sure that we can counter out of certain things. And, ideally at this position, we'd like to be able to play some of our smaller blockers, but we're going to swing 6 at the Lucci here again, see if our opponent can counter out of it, get them down low in hand, because if we can clear the board, then our opponent's going to have no bodies to play. They're going to pitch a Queen, which is actually pretty beneficial for us. We're going to play a Queen of our own here. Again, it's just a great card, and we see a couple of cards here. We pitch a Love Mellow here. It's not going to be live quite yet, and then we're going to go ahead and play Miss All Sunday. Miss All Sunday can grab that Love Mellow back at some point in this game, as long as we can survive this coming onslaught. It's looking like 5 attacks here. We do have the 2 blockers, so they're going to swing 6 with Khalifa, minusing a Dawn to draw 2, trash 1. We will pitch a Bon Cray here because, again, pitch our character cards first, then we use our Dawn, our event cards. We're going to see a swing from the Lucci to rest our Miss All Sunday, which is a bit unfortunate here. So we'll rest the All Sunday, and then we'll pitch, we'll pitch a Gum Rain and an All Sunday, and a Mihawk to get out of the 8k swing. And then we'll see another 8k swing. We'll pay for a Blast Breath here. They still have 2 more swings here, unfortunately. So we're going to see a Poly swing at our life, and we will take that. And we do have just the 1 card in hand, and that Poly can still swing, and we'll pitch a 2k to get out of that. Thankfully, our last card in our life was a 2k. However, now we are in a position where we can clean up board a little bit. We have some blockers, so as long as we get rid of this Lucci, they have 3 cards in hand. We're feeling fairly good about it, and I don't know if our opponent can really commit to protecting their Lucci this turn, so the Mihawk's going to feel pretty good in this circumstance, and we want to make sure that we can leave some Dawn active. So we're going to slot a card under our Croc leader here, and then we're going to swing 10 at the Lucci just to guarantee that it's going to go down, and that way we can utilize all of our blockers here. We're going to go ahead and swing 8k at the Khalifa. Again, just, based on the cards our opponent has, we get rid of that. And then that way we're in a position where we can pass turn. Our board is safe. We have the blockers to do what we need to do on the board. And our opponent's not going to be in a position where they can just brute force us. Because, again, this deck isn't playing a ton of removal. And even if they were playing removal, like Poly, for example, they're going to have to commit that, and we've already seen a fair bit of polys this game, so it's not something that we're super worried about. We're going to see a big swing here from the Tilestone, and we're going to block that with the Missile Sunday. Missile Sunday is going to grab us back a Love Mellow, and Love Mellow is going to be a huge for us in card advantage. So we're going to see a swing from the poly here, and we're going to pay 2 for a Love Mellow, draw off Love Mellow, and then draw off the leader, and then we have to pitch another 1k here, and we're just thinking about what we want to pitch off of that Love Mellow. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, we do still have to pitch something, potentially here. No, I think we're good. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, that was at the, that swing was at the Mihawk, sorry. And then they're going to swing again at the Mihawk, and Bonkray is going to block. And again, we're back in the game here. We have some cards in hand. We still have all of our blockers that are impactful. We didn't lose our Mihawk, which is nice. Our opponent probably should have keyed in on our life there. Again, we could have just blocked with Queen. But we're going to swing 9 here at the Poly and get rid of it. Poly is off the board, and we're gonna swing 6 at the other poly here, sorry, at the Tilestone here, and my opponent's just thinking if they want to counter out of it. Tilestone is, you know, more impactful because it doesn't really matter, and I was just asking what Tilestone does, and he just adds the rest of Dawn, and so and then we're gonna play another Mihawk to bomb deck the last card there. So Mihawk's gonna come in clutch here. We can just block all the attacks from our opponent here if they go for our leader, which is fine. Again, just having a leader that can't attack is just so impactful because they're going to go ahead and they're going to drop these cards to swing, and they could load up their poly to swing at Mihawk again, but since we have this other one threatening, we're feeling pretty good about it. We're going to see double Kokoro come down and search here. They're going to grab a Khalifa off of the second one. I didn't see what they grabbed off the first one, unfortunately. It's a bit too fast, unfortunately, of the reveal. And our opponent's just kind of brainstorming what they want to do, if they want to establish more bodies or if they really want to clear this Mihawk. Thankfully, you know, we have Queen, so we can just block for it. They're going to swing 9 at Mihawk here, and I'm going to use Gum Rain to pitch a 3000 Worlds, and then we'll draw off our leader effect, and then our opponent's going to play Raw Bluchi here, and then they're going to activate leader effect to play a Kaku. And now they have 2 cards in hand, and we have a ton of swings this turn, so at this point, we're just going to go for lethal, I believe. You know, We've held them off just long enough here. Mihawk's going to do 2 9k swings here. And now we just go ahead and swing another 9k from Queen at life. And then we're going to go ahead and swing 9 at life again with Queen. They're going to counter out of that one. And then it's going to be 10 at life. And that's game. Blurple Croc's going to take it. And no win for Iceburg. But until next time, Monty out.